I was looking at my bank statement this morning, and I found a charge for a smart water bottle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the kind that, glows to remind you to drink.
All right.
And the terrifying thing is, I vaguely remember watching a video about it at, 11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday, but I have absolutely no memory of actually deciding to buy it.
Wow.
I didn't go to a store. I didn't even go to Amazon. I was just existing on my phone. And then suddenly commerce just happened to me.
That's the perfect way to put it. And it's exactly what we're digging into today. You didn't go shopping. The shopping came to you.
Nice.
And you likely didn't feel any friction. No credit card entry, no typing your address. It just happened.
It felt less like a transaction and more like a reflex. Like I sneezed and accidentally bought a hydration system.
That reflex is exactly what the industry is calling enabler commerce. We're looking at this fascinating report today, Enabler Commerce 2026, which argues that the fundamental architecture of the internet is shifting.
How so?
Well, we used to have media platforms for content and then e-commerce sites for buying. Those walls are just crumbling. The platform is the store now.
So the mission for this deep dive is to figure out how that wall came down.
Yeah.
Because it sounds convenient, sure, but also a little bit like we're all being programmed.
It's definitely a rewiring of consumer behavior. We're going to look at the big four giants that the research identifies: TikTok, YouTube, Meta, and Line.
Okay.
They are, and this is not an exaggeration, effectively rewriting the rules of capitalism to make content and commerce the exact same thing. And they're doing it in four completely different, almost contradictory ways.
That's interesting, the contradictory part, because usually tech companies just copy each other. Everyone copies stories, everyone copies reels.
Right.
But let's start with the one that definitely caused my water bottle incident. TikTok. The report uses this term, shoppertainment. Is that just a buzzword, or is there some actual mechanics behind it?
It's a buzzword for sure, but it describes a very real mechanical shift in the sales funnel. Traditional e-commerce is logical. You need socks, you search for socks, you compare prices, you buy socks.
Yeah.
TikTok is emotional. Shoppertainment means the entertainment value is the hook, and the commerce is just a byproduct of that dopamine hit.
So I'm not buying the product.
Yeah.
I'm buying the feeling the video gave me.
Precisely. The research breaks this down. They found that short-form video creates this hyper-accelerated emotional bond. You see a creator you like, they're laughing, they're using this vegetable chopper
or this water bottle.
And your brain mirrors that satisfaction, and the data is just, it's staggering. 84% of users say they feel an immediate urge to buy after watching a brand's video on TikTok.
84%.
Yeah.
That is wildly high. That's not just interest. That's pure impulse. Yeah. That's basically mind control.
It creates a sense of urgency. And here's the insight that really matters for anyone trying to sell something. 79% of users are engaging with new brands on TikTok. In traditional retail, we stick to what we know, right? We buy the same brand of toothpaste for 10 years.
Right.
On TikTok, loyalty is dead. Novelty is king. If the video is good, you'll buy from a brand you have never even heard of.
That explains the hashtag TikTok made me buy it. I always thought that was just a clever marketing tag, but it actually signals a lack of agency. It made me do it.
It's a confession. It implies the content found you. You didn't plan it. The algorithm knew you wanted it before you did.
Oh.
So for businesses, the takeaway from the source material is brutal but simple. If you are running static ads, just a picture of your product and a price, you are invisible. You have to stop making ads and start making stories.
You have to hide the vegetables in the lasagna.
That's a great analogy. You wrap the commerce in entertainment. But here's the problem with TikTok. It's a sprint. It's a flash in the pan. You buy the water bottle, but do you know if it's durable? Do you trust the warranty?
That's the hangover. The product arrives, and it's classic junk. And that's usually when I pivot.
Okay.
If I'm going to spend more than, say, $50, I stop scrolling and I start searching. I go to YouTube.
And that is the second giant in our ecosystem. If TikTok is the impulse engine, the report labels YouTube the trust engine.
That makes sense.
This is where the purchase journey slows down and gets, deeper.
It's the difference between a 15-second skit and a 20-minute unboxing.
Exactly. And the psychological role of the creator changes. On TikTok, the creator is an entertainer. On YouTube, the source material describes them as a trusted friend.
Right.
You spend hours with these people. You watch them struggle to open the box. You watch them use the item for a month.
I've definitely watched reviews where the guy says, honestly, don't buy this. The battery life sucks. And strangely, that makes me trust him more when he does recommend something.
That is the currency of YouTube, authenticity.
Yeah.
The stats from the report focus on the Thai market, which is a massive trendsetter for this stuff.
Yep.
And they found that 91% of consumers trust recommendations from YouTube creators. That is higher than the trust levels for traditional celebrities or even, in some surveys, direct family members.
That's wild. We trust a stranger with a camera more than our own cousins.
Because the stranger has receipts, they show the work. But here is the enabler twist. In the olden days, you'd watch the review, you'd get convinced, and then you close the app to go buy it somewhere else. That's a friction point. You might get distracted. You might forget.
Or I see the price on the other site and get cold feet.
Right. YouTube is removing that gap. They're rolling out integrated stores and call to action buttons inside the video player itself.
Oh, wow.
You can see the product shelf below the video, check the specs, and hit buy, all while the reviewer is still talking.
So the trust and the transaction happen in the same window.
It keeps you in the ecosystem. The viewer goes from learning to owning without ever breaking the immersion. It turns YouTube from a library into a showroom.
Okay, so we have the flashy impulse of TikTok and the deep credibility of YouTube.
Yeah.
But those are both very consumer-facing. They're about what I see.
Yeah.
What about the back end? Because I assume the brands aren't just throwing videos out there and, hoping for the best. There has to be a machine behind all this.
That brings us to the heavyweight champion of data, Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. While everyone is distracted by TikTok's viral videos, Meta has been quietly building what the report calls an AI powerhouse for efficiency.
I feel like AI is slapped onto everything right now. Is this just better targeting, or is it something fundamentally new?
It's a fundamental shift in how ads are made. The tool they highlight is called Meta Advantage Plus.
Sounds like a vitamin supplement.
It kind of acts like one for your marketing budget. In the past, if you wanted to run an ad, you, the human, had to do all the heavy lifting. You had to hire a copywriter, a graphic designer, a media buyer to figure out if you should target soccer moms in Ohio or tech bros in Austin.
And if you guessed wrong, you burn through a lot of money.
Exactly. Meta's new generative AI tools, they flip this. You don't tell the AI who to target. You tell the AI what your business outcome is. I want to sell shoes, and the AI figures out the audience.
Okay.
But the wow factor mentioned in the source material is that the AI can now create the creative itself.
Wait, so it's not just finding the people, it's making the ad they see.
Yes. You can input text prompts. You say, show this shoe on a hiking trail at sunset. The generative AI builds the image background.
Whoa.
It writes the sales caption. It overlays the text. And this is the crazy part. It creates hundreds of variations.
So it shows the hiking trail version to the outdoorsy person and maybe a city street version to someone else.
Automatically. It's massive A/B testing on autopilot. The report says this allows businesses to test huge volumes of creative concepts without paying an agency to design them all. It levels the playing field.
So a small mom and pop shop can now have an ad strategy as sophisticated as Nike.
In theory, yes.
Because the AI is doing the thinking. That's incredible. But also, does it risk making everything look the same? If everyone uses the same AI to make the perfect ad, don't we just end up with a bland internet?
That is the risk. The sea of sameness. But from a pure commerce perspective, it's just ruthlessly efficient. It ensures the right eyeball sees the right image to trigger a sale.
So Meta is the engine room. It's the brain making sure the math works.
Correct. But there's one final piece of the puzzle, and this one is really specific to the Asian markets right now, particularly Thailand, but it's a massive lesson for the rest of the world. It's about the human touch. We're talking about Line.
Line. Right. Now, for some of our listeners, Line is just a chat app like WhatsApp. But in Thailand, it's basically the operating system for daily life.
It is. And they have mastered something called chat commerce with a tool called Line My Shop. This addresses the one thing AI and algorithms can't fix.
Which is?
Specific anxiety.
Specific anxiety.
You know when you're about to buy a shirt, but you aren't sure if the medium is a U.S. medium or an Asian medium?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Or you need to know if it will arrive by Friday for a wedding. And AI can't always answer that reliably.
No, usually you just stare at a sizing chart and guess.
Yeah.
Or you email a contact us form and hear back 3 weeks later.
Line My Shop replaces that void with a conversation. You click a product, and you land in a chat with the seller, a real human or a very sophisticated hybrid agent. You ask, hey, I'm 6'2", will this fit? And they reply, yes, we recommend the XL.
That feels very old school, like walking into a boutique.
It's high-tech hospitality. But the enabler part is that you don't have to leave the chat to pay. In the old days of chat selling, the seller would say, yes, it fits, and then send you a bank account number.
Right.
And you'd have to toggle apps, make a transfer, screenshot the receipt. It was a mess.
I've done that. It feels shady, honestly, like I'm doing a drug deal for a cardigan.
Line My Shop closes the loop. The seller can pull up a catalog right in the chat bubble, create an invoice, and you click Pay right there. Address, shipping, payment, all handled without breaking the conversation.
It removes the friction of bureaucracy.
And it solves the logistical headache. The report notes this is massive for retention. When you talk to a human, you feel sort of obligated to the brand. It's a relationship, not just a transaction.
Right.
It's what keeps customers coming back because they know there is a person on the other end.
So if we're looking at the board, we have 4 distinct players. TikTok is the spark of impulse. YouTube is the deep dive of trust. Meta is the AI brain targeting the masses. And Line is the handshake that closes the deal.
Which brings us to the strategy. If you are a creator or a business listening to this, the overwhelming temptation is to pick one. You say, I'm going to be a TikTok brand.
That's easier.
Yeah.
Like learning 4 platforms sounds like a nightmare. Most people barely have time to post on one.
It is hard work. But the expert verdict from the source material is a definitive no. You cannot just pick one. The power of enabler commerce comes from the orchestration of all 4.
You have to play the whole symphony.
You do. The report lays out a hypothetical perfect journey. Let's walk through it because it really clarifies how these all fit together.
Okay.
Imagine you are selling, let's say, a high-end ergonomic office chair.
Okay. I'm in the market for one. My back is killing me. How do you get me?
Step 1, awareness. You go to TikTok. You don't post a spec sheet of the chair. You post a funny 15-second skit about back pain from sitting up a shrimp. It goes viral.
Right.
You get that, I need that reaction.
Okay, I'm hooked. I see the shrimp posture and I relate. But the chair is, say, $500. I'm not buying it off a skit.
Correct. Step 2, trust. You partner with a tech reviewer on YouTube. They do a 15-minute breakdown of the lumbar support. They sit in it, they spin in it, they validate that it's worth the money. Now the customer's interested, but maybe they got busy and didn't buy.
I closed the tab. I walked away. Or I got hungry.
Step 3, efficiency. Meta's AI kicks in. It knows you watched the video, it retargets you on Instagram, but it doesn't just show you the chair. It uses that generative AI to show the chair in a home office that looks exactly like your demographic style. It nudges you with a discount code.
Now I'm clicking. I'm at the checkout.
Oh.
But wait, does it ship to my apartment on the 3rd floor? Does it require assembly?
Step 4, the close. You click the Ask a Question button, which opens Line. You ask about shipping. A human replies instantly, yes, we deliver to the 3rd floor, and we assemble it for you.
Wow.
They send the invoice in the chat. You pay.
Done. Sold.
That is the funnel. Awareness, validation, retargeting, closing. Each platform did the one specific thing it is best at.
When you map it out like that, it makes traditional shopping feel incredibly clunky. I mean, going to a website, clicking through categories, reading static text, it feels like using a phone book.
It is archaic. The big insight here is that browsing is dying. We aren't going to go to stores anymore. The platforms are becoming the store. The content is the shelf.
And the AI is the floor manager directing traffic.
Yeah.
It's seamless, but it also means there's no escape. The mall is everywhere.
And it's expanding. The report touches briefly on the future, and it mentions that this isn't stopping with social media. The traditional giants like Shopee and Lazada are trying to copy this entertainment vibe.
Right.
But the really wild frontier is AI search.
You mean like ChatGPT or Perplexity?
Exactly. Right now, if you ask ChatGPT what is the best camping tent, it gives you a list of text. The report predicts that very soon, those answers will have buy now buttons embedded directly in the chat response.
So the search engine becomes the retailer. I don't even have to visit the brand site.
You might not even know who the brand is until you've already bought it. The interface for commerce becomes conversation and information itself.
That is a staggering thought. We've gone from driving to a store to typing in a URL to just asking a question and having a product appear.
It raises a massive philosophical question about consumer behavior, and this is something the report hints at, but really leaves for us to ponder.
What's that?
If every screen you look at is a store, if the algorithm knows what you want before you do, and if the friction of paying is reduced to 0, are you actually making decisions anymore?
That's the enabler part, right?
Yeah.
It's enabling us to buy, but is it disabling our ability to say no?
Or are we just walking through the world's most personalized mall where every single storefront has been built specifically for you in real time?
That is a slightly dystopian but undeniably convenient thought to end on. I think I need to go cancel some orders before they ship.
You might want to do that.
For everyone listening, next time you're doom scrolling and you feel that urge to buy, just take a second, look at the mechanism, spot the shoppertainment, check the trust engine, and see if the AI is targeting you. It's fascinating once you see the gears turning. Thanks for diving in with us.
See you next time.